During the French state visit, you know, the one where President Macron probably spent more on wine than most of us make in a year, something absolutely fascinating happened. And by fascinating, I mean William basically said thanks, but no thanks to royal tradition in the most beautifully British way possible. Now, before we dive into this royal rebellion, let's set the scene. Welcome back to Royal Cookies, where we serve up the juiciest royal gossip with a side of heart-wrenching humanity. Please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Picture Windsor Castle, glittering like something out of a fairy tale, with enough gold leaf to make Midas weep. Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte have just arrived for their first state visit to the UK in 17 years. 17 years. That's longer than some of you have been alive. And there's our royal family, lined up like a perfectly choreographed ballet, ready to dazzle the French with that special blend of British pomp and circumstance that makes the rest of the world simultaneously jealous and slightly confused. Right. Let's talk about the Windsor uniform, shall we? This isn't just any old outfit. Oh no, darling. This is a piece of royal history that's been passed down since George III was on the throne. We're talking about a navy and red evening tailcoat that's seen more history than your average museum piece. King Charles rolled up to this banquet looking absolutely resplendent in said uniform, as did Prince Edward and Princess Anne's husband, Admiral Sir Timothy Lawrence. It was like a coordinated royal boy band, but with more sequins and significantly better health care. But then, William walked in wearing a white tie outfit. White tie. Now, to the untrained eye, this might seem like a simple fashion choice. Oh, how lovely. William's wearing formal wear to a formal event. But honey, in the world of royal watching, this is basically the equivalent of showing up to a themed party in completely different fancy dress. And according to sources close to the future king, and by sources, we mean people who probably know which biscuits he prefers with his tea, this wasn't an accident. This was a statement, a beautifully crafted, diplomatically perfect middle finger to tradition. But wait. There's more. Because this isn't just about fashion choices, my royal-obsessed friends. This is about the future of the monarchy itself. You see, both Charles and William want to modernize the monarchy, but they're moving at completely different speeds. Think of it like this. Charles is taking the scenic route to modernization, stopping to admire every historical monument along the way. William, meanwhile, is basically on the royal equivalent of a speed run. Royal expert Richard Eden pointed out something absolutely delicious. William has worn the Windsor uniform before. In 2016, for the Queen's 90th birthday celebrations, both he and Harry sported those famous navy and red jackets like the good little princes they were supposed to be. But here's the kicker, he was perfectly happy to wear it for his grandmother, but apparently not for his father. If that's not a masterclass in passive-aggressive royal behavior, I don't know what is. Eden called it an act of rebellion, and honestly, in the world of royal protocol where breathing slightly too loudly can cause a diplomatic incident, this is practically revolutionary behavior. Cast your minds back to November, because I know you all keep detailed notes on royal fashion choices, right? At a palace reception with members of the diplomatic corps, William showed up in modern trousers and shoes. Modern. Meanwhile, Charles was there in full traditional knee breeches and buckled shoes, looking like he'd time-traveled from a Jane Austen novel. And get this, the palace was so sensitive about this fashion rebellion that they only released photos of William from the waist up. From the waist up. That's not suspicious at all, is it? It's like they were trying to hide the evidence of his sartorial independence. But wait, there's more. Because apparently, William has also implemented what I'm calling the no-kilt rule. Despite spending summers at Balmoral, Scotland, where kilts are practically mandatory, William hasn't been seen in Highland dress since he was a boy. Meanwhile, Charles practically lives in his kilt when he's in Scotland. It's like they're playing the world's most polite game of opposite day, but with centuries of tradition hanging in the balance. Now, before we crown William the king of passive-aggressive rebellion, let's think about this from Charles's perspective for a hot minute. The man waited 73 years to become king. 73 years. That's longer than some countries have existed as democracies. He's finally got the job he's been training for his entire life, and his son is basically saying, "Thanks, but I'll do it my way." Charles has spent decades being the poster child for tradition and continuity. He's the king who talks to his plants and has strong opinions about architecture. He's not exactly Mr. Let's shake things up. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really fascinating. Charles actually wants to modernize too. He's been talking about a slimmed-down monarchy for years. He's made sustainability and environmental causes central to his reign. He's not stuck in the past as much as some people think. The difference is in the approach. Charles is like that friend who wants to renovate their house but spends 3 years researching the perfect door handle. William is more like, right, let's knock down this wall and see what happens. And this, my royal watching friends, is where we hit the heart of the matter. This is about two different visions of what the monarchy should be in the 21st century. Charles represents the evolution approach, slow, steady, respectful of tradition while gently nudging things forward. William represents the revolution approach, well, as revolutionary as you can be when you're still curtsying to your grandmother's portrait. Think about it. William is 43 years old. He's a millennial royal. He grew up with the internet. He's seen social media transform how people interact with public figures, and has watched his own family navigate some pretty spectacular PR disasters. If you're obsessed with royal strategy and environmental impact like I am, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Cookies because we're serving up the most sustainable royal content on YouTube. And remember, in a world full of fast fashion and royal scandals, sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is wear your values on your sleeve, preferably in a gorgeous shade of green. Sophie's proving that environmental activism isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. Until next time, keep munching on those eco-friendly royal cookies.